Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know you already know that today is all about the color blue based on that thumbnail, but I am so excited for this page. I am coloring this gorgeous fairy house and I am using all of these wonderful blue colored pencils here. We've got cool tones, light tones, metallics, fluorescents, all different shades of blue for this fairy house. This is the house from my Magical Fairy Houses coloring book that you can grab on Amazon or Etsy. All of the products that I'm using, colored pencils and everything, I'm going to link in the description below so you can check those out. To get this started, I am going to start here with the roof, and I am doing a lightish color, like a lightish bluish tealish color to really make this roof pop. And then for the shingles, I am going in with more of a purplish blue. It wasn't until after the fact that I realized purple and teal, or purple and turquoise if you will, are two of my favorite colors. So it kind of made sense to me that I grabbed those first. Totally accidental, but I do love the way the house turned out with those. My goal with this, because coloring with one shade, all blue, is very challenging. My goal with this was to separate my lights and my blues as I went along to try to make each section really stand out. Now I have done this challenge before, but I've done it by using all pink or a page only using purple. My favorite was when I used all 300 Kalour colored pencils on one page, and I'll link that above right here in case you want to check it out. That page turned out absolutely gorgeous. But for today, I was really excited to try this at using just blue to see how it all turned out. And I gotta say, I actually really love how it turned out. Just like with any challenge, when I first get started, I'm always a little bit hesitant, a little bit nervous about where I'm going to lay the colors out, how it's going to pop, how I'm going to bring it all together. The best way that I do to really make each individual element stand out is I just alternate the light and the dark colors. So I did a very dark base of the house. So all of my windows, my doors, the flowers in front of it, I went with a little bit of a lighter color just to make those stand out as flowers and stand out as the door for each individual thing that it is. When you're using any colored pencil that you want, it is super easy to make that happen and to make all of your elements in your whole page really stand out and flow. It's a little bit harder when you're just using one colored pencil. Luckily, we have all different shades of blue that we can use. The kit that I'm using has beautiful shades of light blues, dark blues, greenish blues, purplish blues, grayish blues, so many beautiful colors for me to choose from. One of the first things that I did, because this fairy house has so much foliage, which is grass, leaves, stems, I went ahead and I pulled out any color blue that I had that was a little bit more on the greenish spectrum. That way I could pick those out and use those specifically for the grass and the leaves and not use those on the flowers at all. So you'll see me doing that a lot with this page, just using those greenish hues in those sections. And a lot of times what I would do is I actually started in with the grass first, or I would start in with my leaves and my stems before I went in to do the stones and the flowers, just so I could make sure that I didn't use any of those greenish blues in anything else because they were so limited and I really wanted my grass and my stems to stand out as much as possible. For this door, I decided I wanted to tie the door in a little bit with the top of the roof to really bring that color through for the outer rim of the door, and then the inner part of the door that actually swings open, going back in with that purplish blue just to bring everything together here. I love the metallic colored pencils that come in this kit, so I actually saved those for most of the flowers. It's really hard to see on the camera or with the photos the metallic color, but this flower that I'm coloring here is those metallic colors, and it's absolutely beautiful. And here I am again, just going in and doing those leaves first before I go in and work on those flowers. Most of my flowers I did with a lighter shade of blue, and then I did the inner part of the flower with a darker shade of blue, and I really like the way that that turned out. Early on, I ended up using just about every shade of blue that came in this kit. So then what I wanted to do, because I wanted to make sure I had just as many shades as I could, because these had so many details to this coloring page, is I started layering anywhere from 2 to 4 different colored pencils to bring out different shades. I actually have one colored pencil that seemed to be a little bit more on the greenish side of things than the bluish side of things. So once I put that down, I would layer like a lightish blue over it to really bring out those blue tones even more. So if you haven't played around with layering different shades of colored pencils, I recommend trying it. It is so much fun to see what different shades you can get based on, just a couple of the colored pencils that you have, and you can surprisingly get a lot of different shades from that. As I continue to color this fairy page, I am really loving how it's all coming together. I am so excited to color all of the different fairy houses in this coloring book. They are gorgeous. This is the section here where there's just a ton of these little flowers on the side of the house. I love this. I tried to go in with several different shades of blue for these different flowers, and then I went in and I did all of my little leaves first before finishing out the flowers, because again I wanted to make sure that I was using all of the greenish bluish colors that I had for the leaves, really making that pop, going in again with my metallics here for the leaves to really get those to stand out. And then for the background, and I recommend this for a lot of different backgrounds, just shade it in with whatever color you're mainly using. So for behind the flowers, I did like a greenish bluish color to really bring all that foliage together. And then I'm doing my final flower here with a bluish purple color, because I love my purple. Now what I'm doing is I'm going in with a light blue paint and just adding a little bit of touches here, just like you would do with a white paint pen. And this is the final product. Let me know in the comments what you think and what other art projects I should do next. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you never miss a fun art video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Happy crafting!